Hey, Shalom Saints. I want to start out by saying happy Feast of Tabernacles, day 2. All glory and honor to the Most High El for allowing us to see another Tabernacles. I pray that you guys are having a wonderful, joyous time. I pray that your first night was peaceful. Wasn't too much craziness going on. But I pray you are in perfect health and peace. I just wanted to come on and do a short lesson. It's not going to be very long. Just talking to you guys about trusting in the Most High, right? I'm going to try to come on every day and just do some kind of short lesson like I always do. But starting out this year, 2025, I want to talk about trusting in the Most High. With everything that we have going on in the world, I'm going to give you some examples. I just want you to remember that we are not alone. We don't have to do things alone. And as always, you trust in yourself. You trust in the Most High. If you put trust in others, you got to make sure those others are worthy and they reciprocate the same kind of trust. So that's our topic, trusting in the Most High, right? Let's look at some things. Let's look at some stats going on right now. So understanding what a tariff is, right? How did the tariffs affect us that everyone's talking about, that Trump put tariffs on people, right? So let's take a look at this slide here. It says tariffs affected goods and, oh man, I can't see that. Tariffs affected goods. That's why I don't like going live on this tablet. It doesn't remove the cursor so that I can read the slides with you. Let's try it like this. Let's see that word work. Yeah. So tariffs affected goods. Prices are rising for imported goods, heavily impacted by new tariffs, including furniture, toys, apparel, and certain food items. So the tariffs that we're placing on foreign governments, it in return is affecting how much we pay for furniture, how much our toys prices. The same Barbie doll last year ain't the same price this year. If you notice a markup in jeans and this type of clothing that you buy, you definitely should have noticed that the food prices have gone up. Look at this. It says the overall food index increased 3.2% over the year ending August 2025. So from 2024 to 2025, the cost of food has gone up, especially meats, dairies. Really, the things that are healthiest for you have always cost the most, but like it's getting out of control right now, right? It's even getting to the point that you really have to put your trust in the Most High. So you look at wholesale prices. Wholesale prices surge in July 2025 with services and goods prices increasing and some tariffs being passed on to the consumer. New tariffs are increasing costs for American importers. So this is what a tariff is. So even if I had a business, say I was buying fragrant oil from Arabia, I had a corner store shop, and then I had a retail cost that I would pass to you. Well, now they're charging me more to get my oil from Arabia, which means in turn, I got to turn around and charge you more for that same oil. Right? It goes on to say who are beginning to pass these expenses on to the consumer, which is us, after having absorbed them previously. So the businesses absorb the cost, right? Let me get this bottom off here. So the business absorbs new costs that these tariffs have placed on them from shipping in and importing goods. And then in return, we have to pay the higher costs, right? So then companies are restructuring supply chains and shifting production to less tariff heavy locations, which also incurs costs. So whether or not you try to go get your goods from another supplier or not, it doesn't really matter, because there's going to be a cost to stay where you're at, the increased tariffs. And then as a company, if I move to another country and say I get my oils from Dubai, or that's still Arabia, I get my oils from the Congo or Benin, the cost is still going to increase, which means I have to retail my costs to the consumers. And that's what's happening. You're right. You remember we made the joke. If you go through your house, or even if you're out right now, tabernacling, just start picking up some of your stuff that's around that you're using to clean up, some of your igloos, whatever you brought. I mean, I don't even know. Was your tent made in America? Just start looking at items. And if it was bought from or produced overseas, that means wherever you bought it, that same company would charge you more for that same item today, depending on when you bought the item, right? So when you look at the scripture and you go to Psalms chapter 9, verse 10, Psalms chapter 9, verse 10 reads, "And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Most High, hast not forsaken them that seek thee." See, I'm just asking the saints right now, are you seeking the Most High in everything that you do? I know our human nature, it makes us want to take control of things. But I know in my case, when I take control of things, 9 times out of 10, it's not ending the way that I want. And even if it ends the way I want and it's good, I can't really give the Most High the credit, because I took it on myself to do things the way I thought I should do. But as we see now, we don't control retail prices. We don't control wholesale prices. We definitely don't control whether or not governments have tariffs on them. I mean, we can control what we. If it gets to the point, the cost for bread, the cost for meat, the cost for our water bill is so absorbent. I guess a water bill wouldn't have tariffs. That would be domestic tariffs. That'd be crazy, right? If the federal government they call tariffs taxes domestically, but it could get to the point where we can't afford it anymore. I mean, that would be really tough times, saints. I just want to make sure everybody is ready and everybody is listening and paying attention to the things that we're hearing and understanding how it impacts us today. So let's look at this. Based on August 2025 Consumer Price Index report, prices for food, shelter, transportation, and imported goods are currently rising in America. The overall inflation was 2.9%. Look at this, Saint. 2.9% for the 12 months ending August 2024 to August 2025, saints. Things have gone up almost 3%. And guess what? It is climbing. Are you guys ready for what is to come in regard to the rising costs of everything you bought last year going up? I mean, it's constantly been growing up, man. If you're 30 and over, you know what the things of prices were 10 years ago. If you're over 40, you know what the prices were 20 years ago, right? I mean, I remember being in college buying gas. I want to say gas was like 90 cents a gallon in the 90s. 98 cents a gallon, dollar something a gallon. By the time I graduated college, it's maybe $1.40. I mean, I remember when they said gas was going up over $3, people just threw a hissy fit, right? It's $2-3 here now. California is what, 4, 5, 5, 6. I mean, it's some places that they pay more per gallon here, but they also make more, right? But inflation is going up, but our wages aren't going up. Unemployment still hasn't gone up, but the cost of everything is going up, which is going to make it very difficult for people moving forward in the future. I just want to make sure where our trust lies, right? Let's go to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel chapter 22. And I worry about the saints and the people, all our family members that don't even know about Tabernacles. They don't even know how to survive outside. Now, I'm not saying there aren't preppers and survivalists and people outside of the truth who don't know about surviving. Of course there is. I'm talking about the people that say they trust in God, that believe in some kind of religion or truth, that aren't prepared. They're more arguing about the things they can't control, like who's increasing the tariffs, why are costs going up. They're not really putting their trust in the Most High, thinking about what they can control, right? With all the argument, everything you see on social media and news is things we can't control. But what we can control is learning survival techniques, learning how to grow food, learning how to build a shelter for ourselves, learning how to clean water, learning these different things, and purchasing the necessary things we need to survive in the wilderness or survive outside the comforts and convenience that have been created as the norm, right? 2 Samuel 22:3 says, and the El of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my Savior, thou savest me from violence. I don't know if many of you know it, but if you are at a certain income and there's someone that keeps pricing the items that you need out of the range of the income, to me, that's violent. To me, that is a destructive plan to destroy me, because they pretty much priced out everything that I could afford and everything that I would need. They priced it outside of the range that I can afford, right? We know the Most High is our Savior. We know he's our refuge. He's our high tower. He's our salvation. And a lot of that is dealing with our mental and our spiritual, right? But here in our physical, the Most High gave us knowledge and some common sense, right? Think about it. If we didn't have access and the money to these tents, he at least showed us through Tabernacles, you can go out and get the branches and the trees of the brush, right? And use the wood and the branches, right? At least we got a saw. You got a saw. We see it on YouTube. You can build a shelter. Now, if you can build a shelter, it will protect you from the wind, the rain, the cold, and the heat. To us right now, that's common sense. But imagine the people who never get outside of their comfort and have never put themselves in an uncomfortable position to figure out how to make myself comfortable and what do I need. Instead of pouring thousands of dollars into furniture and things in your house that if electricity is cut off, they're useless to you, right? So then now how can I make, so you would have a 100,000, 200,000 brick home that is useless to you, right? But now you need some wind and some air. Okay, I can get outside, right? And it's like we put ourselves trust in the Most High. And I say all that to say that we got to sometimes put our trust in the knowledge that he's put on this earth for us to use to make life easier, as someone out there is trying to make life hard. Let's look at these stats, right? It says meat, poultry, fish, and eggs. The index rose 1% in August and was up 5.6% over the previous 12 months. Goodness gracious. So the cost of meat, your egg, your chicken, your beef, your lamb, your turkey, and so on, is risen 6.6% over the last 12 months. I mean, when you go in shopping, like the mothers, you sisters, and some of you brothers might go out shopping, but I mean, brothers, if you ain't been in the grocery store shopping, I mean, you got to know that if you was paying $250 a week for groceries, $100 a week for groceries, everything is doubled and tripled. You know, you looking at your wife like, man, why ain't you got no change? Why are we spending so much on groceries? Meat's up, poultry's up, fish is up, eggs is up, beef is up 2.7% since last August by itself. You steak lovers, I gotta have my Kansas City strip. I love my beef sausages. I love my hamburgers. Like that. Have you noticed why at Whataburger or at any of the fast food places, your burgers back in my day, they used to be $4.90 some cents, right? Then it went up to like $8 and something. Now you can't get a Whopper meal for less than what, 14, 15 bucks. Maybe there's still eight. No, man, it's like this 30 14, 15 bucks a person, man. Somebody fact check me. I remember, man. Listen, my daughter gets those we get them kids cheese grilled cheese sandwiches. And I tell you, man, when I seen the price of a grilled cheese meal with just fries, apple juice, and a cookie, I almost lost my mind, Saints. Almost lost my mind. And they ain't got no beef on it. That's you just trying to feed your kid from the kids menu, right? And then us that try to eat healthy, look, fruits, vegetables. The index increased 1.6% in August. Tomatoes up 4.5%. Apples 3.5 cents. You got to be like my sister Christine, man. You got to hear what I'm saying, man. You got to be like Christine, man. You got to start growing something, man. We got to go get some pots. If it's just one pot, if it's just one raised bed, if you got a little yard, if you got a lot of yard, we got to start putting seed in the ground. Listen, trust Raah, man. I might have put the cart before the horse. We should have made sure our garden production was up and successful year over year before we started investing in sheep, cattle, horses. I mean, we got out here and we just fell in love with the country and started filling in space instead of making sure the ground could produce us the food we needed. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You got to make sure the ground can feed you and your family before you start investing. Look at the cost of meat, right? The vegetables almost cost as much as the meat. That lets you know how important it is. And you raise cattle different than I think it takes more work with gardening. You understand what I'm saying? You saints hear me. You sisters and brothers out there that got your gardens and raised beds. And I mean, that's daily work, making sure insects don't get in it, make sure you don't get funguses and mold. And I mean, listen, it's a lot of work to get food out of the ground, right? Let's keep going. Psalms 40:1. Psalms chapter 40, verse 1. Blessed is the man that maketh the Most High his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. You remember earlier I said, man, we trust the Most High. I mean, you got to trust yourself in order to live within your body. But saints, you got to be careful giving respect and trust the people that are living a lie, that tell you lies, and don't want to obey the truth, right? The Most High is our ultimate trust, right? We believe that whatever the end is going to be, whatever's going to happen, whatever success, whatever punishments and failures, everything that he does is just. He's a just Elohim, so we put our trust in him, and we believe that whatever our end is going to be, whatever state we are in, it is either good or bad based on our decisions, right? But we got to make sure that we're not involving people in our lives and bringing people around us that don't trust in the Most High the same way we do, and they compromise and live a life of a lie and make decisions on a lie, right? They can hear these same statistics I'm giving you, and they can respond in a very fleshly, worldly way, whereas you trusting in the Most High and the information that he's given us in the scripture to make it through, they're going to go to whatever alternatives the world is going to bring and try to get you to bring some of that into your life, which could hinder you. I mean, do we trust in the Most High and what he tells us to do, or do we trust in the world? So the world is going to tell you to invest. The world is going to tell you to come shop at this store, that store. And the Most High is going to tell you, no, go out, get you a raised bed, put you a pot on your balcony in your apartments, till up the land, make the soil fertile, invest in bringing the food out of the ground for yourself. Hey, while we can. It ain't to say that we're always going to be able to do it, but while we can do it, saints, we need to be doing it, right? Let's look at some other stats. It says the cost of housing remains a major driver of inflation. Saints, every time you see them building a new subdivision, new apartments, duplexes, listen, it is destroying our economy. They are building these cheap, raggedy homes, apartments, and duplexes, and they are charging exorbitant amounts. Do you not know that's what caused the crash in 2008? 2008, 2009. And overseas, they're investing in these inflated properties, these cheap properties that they're building here, and people are making millions of dollars somewhere based on us keep making our mortgage and apartment payments and renting these places. Like, that's not the Most High plan, right? It say rent went up 0.3% year over year. Annually, a total of 3.8%. Add that all together. 3.8% rent cost has gone up, right? Your child or someone was living in an apartment, or you was renting a home, and then when your lease came up, that cost went up, right? And it keeps going up, right? Owner's equivalent rent, the index rose 0.4 in August. Lodging away from home, I don't know if you stayed in a hotel or you went on a trip, vacations, but the cost of a single room, queen bed, king bed, cost is flying high, 2.3% year over year, saints. Like, these are the things that impact our lives, right? Well, where we're going to rent, going to the movies, the cost of, the last time I took my daughter and me and the wife went to the movies, just the cost of popcorn, soda, and stuff, it was ridiculous. I'm like, man, we'd rather, cook us a meal, pack it in some Ziploc, get one of my wife's big old purses and walk in there and pull some paper plates out. You hear me? Like, ain't no way we're going to be able to keep up with this inflation. It's no way, right? Ecclesiastes 32 in the Apocrypha, 32 and 24. Ecclesiastes 32 and 24. It says, he that believeth in the Most High taketh heed to the commandments, and he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse. Do you believe that? Do you believe that no matter all this stuff that I'm saying is happening, that you really know, right? You see it. You've been shopping week over week. You've been buying gas. You've been buying parts for automobiles. You've been going to buy lumber and different parts for your raised beds. You've been going out and buying fertilizer and dirt. Like, cost is up. Wood, the cost for wood, metals are up. Sisters and brothers, I can't tell you, like, if you got a dog, have you not noticed the price of dog food going up? Is it me, Or have you not noticed the price of dog food going up? So let alone, like, something's gonna have to give. You got a family, you got dog. Imagine us, cows, horses. Like, something's gonna have to give to come down to the family unit being able to provide for your family, right? You got to make sure that you're watching your expenses over your income. Not anymore can you just go out and get it because I got it, so I'm just gonna buy it. You got to really be thinking about the things that you buy, and do I really need it, or is it just gonna be in a box? Is it gonna be broken, or is it gonna be in storage somewhere in the next year? So we put our trust in the Most High, while at the same time tariffs are being passed and everything's going up. Look at this. Several transportation costs saw increase, right? Airfare. I don't know if you've been on a plane in the last year, but from 2024 to 2025, it's gone up almost 6%. Used cars and trucks. Hey, man, do y'all remember after COVID? Do you not remember? Listen, I had to help get my niece, my son, my wife bought a new vehicle. Listen, sisters and brothers, the cost for vehicles is ridiculous. It's ridiculous now, right? Used cars, trucks, index of categories increased 1%, 6% over the year, 6% in a year. The cost of a used vehicle, getting new cars, getting new trucks, everything is up. All right. You go in and get the same maintenance, the same oil change from a year ago, the cost went up 8.5%. Sisters and brothers, even more and more, we got to put our trust in the Most High. Can you hear me? Listen, motor vehicle insurance. I can't stand insurance. Every 6 months, I'm getting notifications of a review, and all the reviews say is your insurance is going up. I want to get on the phone and say, look, this ain't that and that ain't this. I want to say, don't get insurance, but man, insurance can bail you out when you need it if you got a good company and if your plan is set up the right way. But goodness gracious, they are raking it in for something we may or may not need year over year. We're still paying for it, Con. We are still paying the cost for that insurance. Psalms chapter 25, verse 2. Psalms 25 and 2. Oh my El, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies know. Hey, them people over there trust in the Most High, man. They're not going to make it. They're not going to be able to withstand the increased cost that is indirectly impacting them because of these tariffs, right? They're not going to be able to make it. They're not going to be able to travel. They're not going to be able to upgrade their vehicles because we create the vehicles to crash. Hey, how about your cell phones? How about everybody that loved them darn cell phones, which is the biggest scam ever? How about the cost of cell phones, the services, the fees they add on? Ridiculous, saints. Yeah, the parts that go into it, man. I'm ready to go back to landline. Let me get me a radio, right? Let's get everybody those long range radios, and we could talk to each other. I could broadcast from radio all across the world. You know what I mean? And at the cost, once they figure that out, then they're gonna try to raise the cost on that. But that's definitely probably cheaper than these phones, man. Everything is up. So if everything is up, I want to make sure your trust in the Most High is up. You hear me? I want to make sure your focus and your trust in the Most High is where it needs to be, saints. And that's what I want to get on here and talk to y'all about today. Make sure you're trusting in the Most High, right? Because if you get sick, I mean, they're making everything in your food. It's making you sick. Let alone you got a list of things I don't buy because of the Most High commandments. Then you got to have a list of things that are just going to flat out kill you. Can't have nothing with yellow this and red that and that dye. And you can't eat certain breads and cook certain foods because they got enriched flour, and you got to stay away from things that make you overweight. And now they got things that are causing cancer in our food. Our water's fake. It's just recycled bath water. I mean, they are out of control. So if you get sick, you got to go to the hospital, right? Look at this. Several other services, the medical care service. These services were up 4.2% in the last 12 months, though they saw a 0.2 decrease in August. Listen, 0.2 decrease, you're still up 4%. Your cost, if you go in, depending on your medical service, I mean, there's still your insurance is still going to be charged by those doctors, by that urgent care. It's the cost is going up. You hear me? Apparel, the index went up 0.5. Household furnishings, you're right. We already read that earlier, right? But listen, out of all this stuff we going over, Saints, I just want to make sure as you out here enjoying yourself and tabernacling, make sure we're doing things. Make sure we're doing and making decisions with purpose. We're thinking about making the right decisions on knowing that the cost of everything is going up. Let's make sure, all right, what meat do we like the most? What's the most affordable for the cost? I can't go to the store and buy a turkey, a steak, a chicken, all types of chicken. I need a drum, I need wings, and got the freezer full, right? I mean, I bought this deep freeze, listen to me, and I'm scared to fill the deep freeze up because we have so many power outages. Then I'm like, the more power outages we have, the more gas I need for the generator. It's like you go buy all this food and the power goes out longer than your generator can last. So you got 5 days of generated gas. Then the gas station, there's a run on gas. It runs out of gas. You got to have a backup for your gas generator. Then you got to have a solar generator. And then you got to have a powerful enough solar generator to run your deep freeze. I mean, these are things you got to think about because if my gas runs out, I got a solar. But if I don't got no sun, I'm getting limited power. Saints, this is how we got to focus. You got to have a backup for a backup for a backup, right? I seen a sister say earlier, let me go back up in the comments here. I think it was Sister Christine or maybe Brother Dale. Somebody said, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I'm talking about we need to reevaluate what ready means. And we need to constantly keep thinking about what ready means. Depending on how many family members we're responsible for. I mean, do we even got 3 days of reserve rice, beans, canned goods? Do we got 3 days of that? See, we're trusting in the Most High, but even he told Noah to get all these animals and certain amount of preservatives, and he had enough food to last him in that ark, right? I mean, it rained a certain amount of days, but the water was still on the earth after it stopped raining. He still got to eat. You got to have water to drink. I mean, and if he had 2 by 2 and he had all these animals, he got to feed them animals. So let's bring it down to us. We got to be practical on knowing what our budget is for food, what we're spending on that food. And if you got it like that, I'm telling you, it's still not a time to be wasteful. Tabernacles should teach you one thing that lasts a whole year, and it's be mindful of your resources and how you use those resources, how you store those resources. Man, we don't even have no smokers. We don't know how to keep food cold without a freezer, right? Before the freezer was invented and before there was cooling trucks, how did people keep food cold? How did they keep meat preserved? Where are our cisterns? How did they keep rice good? How did they store beans? Like the way we talk about third world countries, that's the knowledge we need, because if it happens to us, it's going to be so many of us perish that it's not going to make any sense. So you saints who watch me, the people that are on live right now, the people that are tabernacling, the people that want to tabernacle, the people that want the knowledge that comes from the highest way ministry, listen, these are the things that have to be on our minds. Yes, Sister Chrissy, stop taking things for granted. Make sure that everything that we use, everything that we buy has multiple needs, multiple uses. Everybody can use it. Everything can share. If we need to barter, it's a value that another family who don't have it, they can trade this for that. Like, we got to start thinking about, if time is reversed and we're not in a high-tech technical society, or the society increases so far ahead of us with AI, it still puts us in a stone age, that we got the necessities of life to make it. Hey, I apologize. I done went deep. I done went too long on this short lesson. I thank everybody for joining. I see you, Mom. I see you, Brother Dale, Sister Christy, Christine, Brother Maka, all the saints that popped in and popped out. I know you're busy. I know you're out there, Sister Hernandez. I see you out there, all the family members and friends. I know the kids is out playing. There's a lot going on. I appreciate everybody taking the time to jump on with me on this short lesson today. Feast of Tabernacles, day 2. Yep. If we're ready and stay ready, there isn't going to be much miss, right? When we start to see the things of the world going bad, we'll have that peace that the Most High promised us, because we applied the knowledge that He gave us into practical life, and we were ready for whatever the enemy throws at us. It ain't going to be no need to be ashamed, because people are going to gravitate to us, saints, because we got the blueprint. We applied the blueprint, and we are ready for whatever. The Most High is our Raah, He's our Yasha, He's our Shalom. And if we know that and we apply all His lessons, we'll be better for it, just like the scripture said. And with that, look forward to seeing me tomorrow, day 3, around the same time, noonish. If the Most High say the same, we'll convene, we'll get on live, and we'll chop it up. Until then, y'all be blessed, enjoy yourself, and talk about it. Let's get ready. Khan, y'all be blessed. Shalom.